What's up? Today we're going to be looking at the DC Multiverse Static Shock. This is the Rebirth, I believe. Nope, New 52. So this is the New 52 Static Shock figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. So first off, we have the window box right here. We can see the figure accessories. We have the DC Multiverse logo down here, Static Shock. On the side, we have the side window, Static Shock, DC Multiverse at the top, McFarlane toys at the bottom. On the back, we have a huge picture of him. Here's the Static Shock New 52, DC Multiverse at the bottom. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it and see how this figure looks. Okay, so now that we have him out of the box, let's go ahead and adjust it down a bit. There we go. So now we have him out. Let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. First off, let's put him to the side and we'll take a look at some of the accessories that come with him. So we have some of his static electric bolts stuff right here. These look like go on their hands and arms and stuff. They do have the clear, almost like a yellow glow. But what's weird is usually, let me grab the box. You can see right here, like it looks nothing like the electricity. I kind of feel like they should have done like a white clear looking plastic instead of like this like yellowish orangish look to it. But I believe they're just trying to go with the aesthetic of his suit and stuff, the yellows. In my opinion, they should have done more of like a clear or white one, but hey, I'll take whatever, because I mean even in this card, you gotta go look at the card here. Also, I noticed the quality of these cards. Remember, they used to be like a really thick, almost like a plastic, but now it's actual like a trading card type material. Kind of liked it better when it's like the thick plastic type card. So yeah, so here is the type up for that. If you can go ahead and pause that and read that if you want to. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the accessories. So of course you have the typical DC plate right here, a little stand for him to stand on, and then here is the metal plate that he uses a magnetic electric pulse to use it to fly and for these different plates to stick together. For me, my experience with Static Shock was actually when I was a kid and the Static Shock cartoon came on the WB. That was my introduction to Static Shock, and I completely fell in love with him with that cartoon, and then started getting his comics and stuff after I've seen the cartoon, and ever since then I just loved Static Shock. But yeah, it was 100% that cartoon that's what got me into Static Shock. So I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and get HBO Max and check it out. It's really good, and just everything about it just screams 90s. The clothes, the way they talk, the act, everything just screams 90s. So let's take a look at the figure. So first off, he has the jacket, which it looks good, it works for it, but I still feel it's just laziness. This jacket has no sleeves. The actual sleeves are painted on, and then the jacket is sleeveless. Also, the jacket cannot be removed. You can see it's sealed in right here at the shoulders and chest area. So that is one downside, but that's fine and all. I don't 100% mind it too much, but I still like there was a way to take it off or something. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the hair, which I feel like dreadlocks are almost kind of hard to do with a sculpt, but I feel like they really pulled off the dreadlocks. His hair does look really well done. I don't see any issues with it, but I still feel like dreadlocks would be hard to pull off with like plastic with sculpting. His glasses look good. His face looks really well sculpted. This is actually a really well done sculpt, all the way down to his ab crunch and hip swivel. The paint of his tights underneath, everything looks good. This is a well done, well sculpted paint. I like the way he made his jacket look on his arms. It almost looks like flowing with it. It looks as if it is part of the jacket, not just a sculpted arm that's detached from the jacket. So it really works well. It looks great, especially with the sleeves here too. They look really good. His pads look well done. His knee pads right here. Ankles look good. Everything looks. This is a really well sculpted figure. It feels really good in hand. It doesn't feel too heavy, too light. It's not like very top heavy from the jacket, so it does stand pretty well. It does take me a second because his legs are kind of messed up from the pose they had him in. There we go. I mean, so he stands pretty well. I mean, it took me like 2 seconds to get him really standing upright, no problem. His logo does look a little messed up with the sculpt and paint, and he does look like they got quite a bit of paint splotches all along right here at the top. Not every figure will probably have that. It's probably just a few select ones will have it here and there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation. So we have the head, doesn't do too much movement. It looks like it can do a full rotation. The highest you can look up is straight ahead. You can look down. Not much side movement. Arms can do full T-pose. You have the bicep swivel right here. We have the double jointed elbows, and looks like we have also articulation in the wrist. Nope. It is a peg joint. So no full any moving articulation. So as you see, we have the ab, let me move the jacket a bit. So we have the ab crunch, and we have the hip swivel. No full rotation. He can do the complete full splits. I know the last DC Multiverse figure that I opened and reviewed could not do the full splits, but this one can. And it does have like spots where it pops into certain holds and stays. So it's not loose, so if I put him out, he's not gonna drop back down. So he is a very good tight figure. It's not too tight where I'm like feel like I'm breaking him to move him, but he does have, you know, that clicking as he goes into different joints, and he's able to stay in that movement. No thigh swivel. It's kind of home for the thigh swivel. So, and we do have the double jointed knees, which also click in the right spot and stay. I really like all the joints in this figure. This is a very well made. So we have the full rotation. Also we have the up and down of the ankle, which I really like what they've done with this new ankle. It feels so much smoother and better than the most ankles of the Multiverse figure. Like, the new line is just simply amazing. And of course, it's not a McFarlane figure without the articulated toes. But yeah, so far everything I've seen from this figure just absolutely looks amazing. The paint looks good on the back of his legs too. On his back all the way up, it looks like everything goes all the way up. You would think because it doesn't detach they would leave it off, but no, it actually goes all the way up to his back up here, as far as you can see before it's attached to it. So they didn't show any laziness, because I've seen in the past where if it, you know, you have to, if you can bend it up like that, then up here would be just blank. They wouldn't even add any paint or anything or sculpt in anything, because they just assumed it's automatically covered. So yeah, so that's definitely a really plus. This figure is just well made. The only issues I have is, of course, it's just a little bit of paint splotch right here. And you can see right here, it kind of runs off on the yellow up here too. Other than that, this is a perfect figure. I highly recommend picking this up. If you're a DC fan, if you're a Static Shock fan, 100% recommend picking this up. I will have links in the description below from multiple places you can pick this up: Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon. So be sure to check the links down below if you want to pick up your own. So yeah, so that is my review of the DC Multiverse Static Shock from the new 52 version. If you guys like this, be sure to comment, like, and make sure to subscribe so you can see more figure reviews. Also doing toy hunts, going to comic conventions, doing toy hunts at comic conventions, trying to find figures and stuff. Also going to try and start doing some more action figure news and news about stuff coming out in the future. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.